Hi gang. I don't know if I'm live. I've got spinning circles. Okay, now I'm live. All right. I had spinning circles. I wasn't sure if I was live or not. Hello. How are you? Just wanted to drop in and share my experience about the potato trick. Now, we did this the other day with, on the call was Roberta, Beth, Mandy, myself, Carolina. And Mandy and Carolina have actually done this before. Mandy did it on a course and Carolina did it after that. And both were quite successful straight away off the bat. And actually sticking a straw straight through a potato. And that might seem like a really dumb trick to do, but it actually is profound. I'm going to use that word, profound, in actually teaching a lot about yourself and how you're going for your end result. So that's really what this trick, if you like, is all about, is actually being able to stand in the end result of what you want, despite what your head kicks up and says that this is a really bendy straw and this is a really hard potato, which is actually just out of the fridge. And it really is defying logic and reality and really just proving to yourself that you can actually just stay in the end result and go for what you want, direct, and it can happen, which is what Mandy and Carolina have proved, definitely. So yet again, on our call the other day, they actually did it again straight away. I was like, damn. So it was interesting because that started a process. Even before I got to the live call, actually Mandy said this to me as well. Both of us had this feeling of like, oh, well, we're the mentors and the instructors here. We better get this right. Otherwise, what will that say about us? And I was like, oh, so I had that playing out. So I really had to sort of deal with, like, really interesting what kicks up, isn't it? Like, I really had to deal with that. And then we got there, and if you watch the replay, which you definitely should do, because it was such a fascinating conversation afterwards, what it really stirred up in different people. Yeah, sort of really going for that thing, and I was like, I didn't get it. It didn't work. I had a couple of goes on the call, and I just couldn't get it. I got it in a fair way, like, good in a couple of inches, but that was it. And it's supposed to go right through. Right? That's the end result, is to have that straw go right through the potato. And I was like, oh, crap. I was like, all right. So I resolved that I would do it for the next 30 days. That is actually the exercise. If you don't get it through, and you don't get it through consistently, is to actually go, okay, for 30 days, really focus on that end result of having that straw go all the way through to the other side of that potato. And I resolved that I would do that for 30 days. And today, I finally got it through. I had to cut it off because I wanted to reuse the straw. I'm using all the homeowner straws here. Yeah, I finally got it to go through. So what was the difference, you may ask? So what I did, I was standing in the kitchen and I was like, right, I'm going to do this properly. I'm going to actually really go through the process like we're going through with our choices all the time. You know how we stand on the beach or in the forest, wherever you feel in your power, you have an end result circle and you have a current reality circle. So this is really an explanation of why we go through that process to write your choices. And this is a really good illustration of that. So I stood on the beach, and metaphorically, and really stepped into my power. And then I defined the circle in the kitchen as being the end result of the straw going all the way through the potato. And then I stepped into it. So I physically stepped into that. And I basically just let go of any hows and really stepped into that innocent space and that not needing to know, and straight through it went. And there you go. It actually worked. So super powerful to see that when you really do set that intention of going for your end result, it actually works. It does, and you get out of the house. You can't still be in the house when you're doing that. And just letting go of how that could come about, or all the head stuff that says this is not possible. A bendy straw can't go through a hard potato. And it's like, it's amazing. It actually did work. But it's brought up lots of stuff during the last few days. And very much about I'm somebody that really is always working a lot, but it's sort of like, it really highlighted about not getting my end result for things. So it's sort of like, I get things off my to-do list and I go, yep, okay, done that, right, next thing, yep, next thing, yep, next thing. And without ever really stopping to look at what I've just created. It could have been, you know, the task that I just did might have been quite amazing. And I don't stop to ever even acknowledge that or look at that or feel it or I don't know. And then I'm just into the next thing without any great intention, generally. I'm learning to set those intentions now and using these, you know, what I choose for this next part of the task. This is, I want the end outcome to be X, Y, Z, because you can use these choices in anything. You can have end results for everything that you do. So I'm learning how to do that now. But it's been, yeah, quite fascinating to just really see how I've blocked. Like even when I sort of thought about my end result of this, all I got was just blank. It was just blank screen. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. So I've really had a conversation with Jody about it yesterday, and I was like, wow, I'm quite visionary. Like, I don't know if you follow numerology, but if you do, my number, well, I'm exactly the same as Beth, 33-6. So the 6 represents vision. So I definitely have very big visions of things, and I can see things really clearly, and I can take steps towards those things. I've started to master that, not just like have big visions and have no idea how to get there. So I'm actually not too bad in the methodical steps to get there now. But there's still this block around this end result thing, like actually coming all the way through to the other side, you know, seeing it out the other end and seeing it come into creation. You know, like this one went quite a long way. So to me, this represents me actually moving towards my end result, but not quite getting to the other side where it comes into fruition each time. And then that means that I have to go back and start doing more work again on it, have to be more forceful for it to come through. And so it's really interesting. But there's this, a little bit of a fear I realized on the other end of this. It's sort of like, what happens when I get this coming out the other end, the end result that I'm going for? So it's definitely highlighting a lot of really pretty cool things that I didn't even know were there right now. So while this seems like a bit of a dumb trick, it's actually really, it is really profound when you do it. And highly, highly encourage you to do it, because I think it's really solidified for me with this work. It is all about the end result, because we can talk about all the limiting beliefs and the head stuff that comes up and all that sort of stuff, but there is possible to just stay completely 100% focused on the end result. And that's what we are supposed to be doing in this work, staying 100% completely focused on what you want on the other side. What comes out here is the land of this part here on the other side is the land of plenty. This is the end result we're going for. So really just 100% focused on that's what you want. And if you have to still use the circles like I'm having to do right now, and actually sort of really virtually step into it, then do that. Like, and it's amazing the difference in what gets created from just doing that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep doing this exercise for the next 30 days. I really want to, it helps you focus on your end result. It keeps drawing your focus back. And as we know, whatever you focus on is what your subconscious is getting in. So obviously my subconscious has been getting in, yeah, take some steps towards your end result, but you're never going to quite get there. And this is actually highlighted if you've read the book The Magician's Way, which is actually all about this work, and alchemy and bringing things through into reality. It's actually quite a good book by William Whitecloud. And in that, he talks about a guy called Chris Parkway that does, well, he doesn't name him, but he talks about the magic golf lesson. So Jody and I are actually fortunate enough to do a session with Chris Parkway many, many years ago on a course that we were doing when we first met, actually. And so Chris would get you to stand there and swing the club, have a few goes at swinging the club, and then he blindfolds you. And you have to hit the ball towards the, you know, this one cup type thing, you know, fair distance away. and you'd be sitting there going, oh, surely not, you know, like, how can you hit that there when you can't even see where you're going type thing? Like, you can't focus on that thing. You know, all the goal setting stuff comes up. You know, you need to focus on the end result by looking at it, and you have to get the swing right, and, you know, just, you know, all that sort of stuff. And you're looking more at your technique of actually hitting the ball. Will I even hit the ball? I can't even see the ball. You know, like, how will I even hit it in the first place? So all this stuff starts coming up about the technique and holding the club right and hitting it just at the right angle for it to go the right trajectory to get over the thing. And it was really quite fascinating to actually be blindfolded and do it all through your imagination. So the imagination, you have to see it in your imagination for then it to come through into your physical reality of actually hitting that ball. And one of the things that came out of that lesson, funnily enough, Chris picked up on for me, was you don't ever see the ball land. So I take the blind, you say hit the ball, and then you take the blindfold off to see where it goes. So, but before it would land and I'd get the end outcome, whatever that was, like good or bad, I would bend down to get the next ball ready. And he goes, you never stop to actually look at what you created and actually just really take that in. And I was like, oh shit, actually I don't. So this is now being highlighted in this exercise again. So while I thought I actually had worked on that aspect of myself, it's still there. And this exercise now is really bringing that out of how much I keep doing that. Just fascinating, really. It's like everything's becoming a metaphor right now, like for life, like just simple stuff like that. And I was like, wow, it actually really is highlighting your own behaviors or my own behaviors in how I'm actually doing things and how I'm approaching things, how I'm approaching my work right now as well. And I've been really, I definitely haven't been in a great space over the last fair few weeks. It's bringing up this work, funnily enough, of course, is actually bringing up a lot of stuff for me and also for Mandy as well, of course. If you're going to dive into this work and do it every single day and think about it every single day and have it as part of your life, it's going to bring up stuff. So there's definitely getting faced with a lot of things right now, a lot of behaviors and a lot of old thought patterns and processes that still are there, like despite how much work I've done on myself all these 16 plus years. But this, because it is a really different way of doing it now, like I realize the way that I have been doing consciousness work and my own stuff and working on myself is really different to this work. This really is a very different structure now to work in, and it takes time to shift across and really go only for your end result all the time. And hey, Beth! Yeah, it does take time to actually start only focusing on your end result, because the head kicks in and goes, oh, but how about the hows? And it's like, it's not about the hows, but you can say that till the cows come home until you actually have the direct experience of it not being about the hows and stepping into only your end result, so that this goes through, like having to step into that innocent space, because if you're not in that space of innocence, this is not going through the potato, that's for sure. So it's quite fascinating to really have to practice it now and make it my default. So I guess it's just been interesting. Like, I've really been gentle on myself. I've not tried to force getting the straw through the potato. It's like, if it takes me 30 days to do it, then that's okay. It doesn't matter. But sure enough, it went through today, which was really cool. It may not tomorrow. So who knows? Like, this was the second one, so it didn't go through again. So it's really quite interesting. Now, maybe I was trying to force it so that I could show you that I did it twice. I don't know. Like, there wasn't an agenda there for me trying to put it through again. So, but yeah, it's just all so interesting right now, and not taking it as anything other than just information. And that's really all it is just like, oh wow, it didn't go through. All right, so what information is that giving me now? Like, what's the next thing that I can be more aware of, or what the next step I can take? It's just more just information. I'm not making it about myself right now, about not being able to do this consistently. So yeah, it's really cool. So that's it. Just wanted to talk about that. And so we're about to move over to Mighty Networks tomorrow. So I don't have a time for us just yet. We're just finalizing things in there, and it's looking pretty slick. It's looking good. So yeah, it's exciting. I've been working behind the scenes, getting stuff done. So we'll, yeah, come on over tomorrow. We might, on the live, we got our live session tomorrow, so we might actually just take you in there and have a quick look around as well, so you can have a bit of an orientation. But Mandy's going to be doing a video to orientate you through Mighty Networks and see what's going on. That's Diego now barking. Diego! Yes, so there you go. Or, yes, the right gang sign, Beth, not the other one. If you're wondering what we're talking about, you'll have to watch the replay of the straw through the potato trick. So we had an interesting conversation about gang signs. All right, that's it from me. Hope you're all good, and pack your bags. We're ready to move. And oh, that was good. Beth said the session was amazing. Lots of infinite revelation. Yeah, it was. Simple trick, but just massive revelations and insights into how you operate from doing the straw and the potato trick. So if you've not done that, definitely do it. And if you don't get it, resolve, like I have, if it feels true for you, to do it for the next 30 days until you get it, because you're going to learn so much about yourself and how you operate, and really shift the way you actually bring through what you love in life. Massive, massive, massive. Can't emphasize that enough. All right. All right, chickies. I'll see you soon. Bye. I don't even know how to end this. Oh, here we go. This is the new Facebook. I'm trying to figure it all out. Bye.